Well, good morning and welcome to the Wallet to Wealth Female Entrepreneur Series in support of Halton Women's Place. From Wallet to Wealth is a brand created to speak to women to help mentor, educate, and inspire women to living and leading empowered lives. Welcome, I'm Whitney Hammond. In 2020, we did 6 live events and then the big Wallet to Wealth speaker gala where we raised $32,000 for Halton Women's Place and gave out over 6,000 prizes. And Jodie was there. So get ready. We'll be rolling out our 2021 series of workshops shortly. And these will be hands-on workshops where you bring your laptop and we'll create our own clear messaging to stand out from the competition and grow our businesses. Join our squad. We are all about success and breaking barriers. We look for the ceiling and we break through it. Not only do we help women win, we shine a spotlight every Monday on a female entrepreneur to help her own future. And speaking of owning her own future, here is a woman who did an about-face change from corporate leader to health and wellness entrepreneur. She left a position as a highly paid marketing in a large firm to join her own business at ground zero. Please welcome Jodie Rogers.
Hi there. Good morning. Thank you so much, Whitney, for having me.
You're welcome. And it's such a pleasure to have you. I was so happy to meet you. And for those who are watching, don't kid yourself about social media and the power of it, because the friendships that we make are unbelievable, and to be able to support and watch each other grow. And I just love that. So I'm so happy to have you here. And you were one of I think I only ever did 2 coffee calls because I just don't have time in my schedule. And I didn't understand why. And I'm really glad that we did, because I've been able to really watch what you're doing. And I think it's awesome. So we'll just jump right into the interview. And so the first question, recently we've been talking a lot about intergenerational messages and societal messages. Can you explain how that's worked for you in your life, what your experience has been?
Sure. I think the number one is probably one that many are familiar with, and that was this idea of work hard, play hard. So this was instilled in me, I guess, through both sides of my family. But my father was definitely, he was a big banker and worked a demanding job that paid well, and had a very, very strong work ethic. And so that was instilled in me from a young age. But while that's very positive to have a strong work ethic, and I want to raise that in my kids as well, this idea of working hard can also lead to workaholism. And I think I saw that in my own parents, and my father anyway, and in myself. When I worked in corporate, I wanted to do my best. I thought I had to work hard. I thought work was meant to be difficult. And it really kind of forced me to work like this 60-hour work week when, a salaried employee really only gets paid for 37 and a half, maybe 40. So while it comes with its benefits, it also has its drawbacks for certain. But another really big, I think, societal norm that was sort of instilled in me that I definitely busted through without even an intention was this idea of the typical roles of a husband and a wife, or a man and a woman in a relationship. And so, and in a family, I married a man who I married for love. And, when I met him, he did not have a lot of material beings. He was in his 20s. And I think my parents just saw him as someone who would not keep me in the lifestyle to which I was accustomed. I lived in this sort of middle class, semi-affluent, home in Oakville. And yet here I met this man who I loved, and he couldn't really, he wouldn't provide for me, is what they said. And yet I'm thinking, well, I could provide for me. I went off to university. I was the first in my family to get a university degree, and then I went on to get an MBA, and I thought like, hey, I can provide for myself and my family, and so I did, and so that was definitely unconventional. We're talking, I guess 12, 13 years ago that we made this decision, that things just happened in our lives and in our careers to end up in these roles. And, my husband was a provider. He was a chef. He's a trained chef. And so fit the role of stay-at-home parent quite nicely, cooking the meals and being there. We didn't want to, have a nanny kissing boo-boos and hugging our kids. We wanted one of us home. And if it wasn't meant to be him, why not me? Or vice versa. If it wasn't meant to be me, why not him? And so that's the decision we made.
That's amazing. So you broke through some of those molds, though. So you didn't follow because many of us follow I'll go with the societal message, get married, and then we end up getting divorced because it's not the right fit. So you did the right thing, and you married for love and went and did your own thing. And so tell us about so when you were in that corporate position, did it feel like that's what you wanted to do, or you felt like you said that you were just into workaholism and you were working by far too many hours?
Yeah. I mean, I think at the start it was like, I felt like I really got my dream job when I first landed my job. And, that's what I had worked hard towards getting. I was really busting these conventional norms all the way. I mean, I got accepted into an MBA program while living in Japan with no real work experience. I was an English teacher. And so that was sort of, and a woman. And so that was sort of busting a norm right there, even getting accepted into that. And then really working hard to find this dream role of a marketing manager for a major consumer packaged goods company. And when I got it, I really felt like I was, I made it. And then over time, I mean, I had a great career. There was lots of opportunity for new experiences, but eventually I just got in this position where I really felt stuck. And as much as, they like to say you're in control of your career and you drive, your progress and where you're going to go, I just didn't believe that anymore. I really felt like I wasn't in control. And, as a large company fails to hit its profit targets year after year, there's lots of cuts that happen, right? And I kept making the cut. So I felt like, okay, I'm still here. I still have a role here. But eventually I just got sort of stuck in this, I felt like I was stuck in the corner with all my cheerleaders gone. My managers had either left the company or left the country because it was an international company. And I just started to feel really stuck. And just was like wondering, well, what the heck, is this it? And feeling like, I kind of lost my purpose.
Amazing. Okay. And I hear you on that. So then you became aligned. So it sounds like that adversity that you experienced has brought you to where you are today. So tell us about that, how that really changed your vibe.
Yeah. So I think, it was more than 6 years ago now that, my husband had faced a few health challenges, nothing major, but just some, run-of-the-mill things, being prescribed antibiotics. And, I've got 3 kids. And so running to the walk-in clinic or the hospital in the wee hours of the night was not an unfamiliar scenario because, you get a fever or a weird hive or something and off we go. And so I've always sort of been a healthy person, athletic and wanting to stay in good health. And a friend of mine was starting to use these beautiful oils, Doterra, signs over here.
Yeah.
And I thought she was a bit cuckoo, like how could oils actually support my health? But then one day decided to give her a listen. And when she shared with me that first drop of peppermint oil that took away headaches and, shared with me oils that could help relieve stress that I felt at work, I really started to see the power in this product and brought it into my home. So, as the homemaker, I never dreamed about, or as the breadwinner, rather, never dreamed about quitting my job or, starting to be an entrepreneur. But I just brought these products into my home and started to use them and watch how they really helped me take care of my health and that of my family. And then I realized that there was this little business opportunity with these oils if I shared. And I worked with lots of stressed out, overworked, corporate, robots who needed what I had. And so I shared them freely and easily at work. And before I knew it, I had this customer base and a little business growing. And as I learned more about the company and their products and their mission and their vision, I really just began to feel really aligned to what I was doing. And that's when the real kind of inner working started to happen. That stuckness that I felt at work was even worse. And I didn't only feel stuck, I felt like a hypocrite. I felt like in my personal life, in my family life, I was on this, natural wellness journey and using these beautiful products. And then in the majority of my life, being a workaholic and working these long hours, I was touting these products that didn't align with me, that I didn't want to even, bring home to my family anymore. And I really felt like, just like this, like grumbling inside of me. And I started to really dream and desire growing this business so that I could free myself from what I was calling jail, my corporate jail cell.
I love it. So you listened to your instinct, you listened to your inner message, and then you dreamed. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing that I really want people to hear is dream and dream big. Many of us get stuck in a cage, in a corporate cage, like what you're talking about, and think, or it could be a union job, because you've got this great hourly wage, but you just can't get out because you're tied to your bills. And the thing is that when we dream, that's the message. And we're getting tired of hearing the universal message. So let's just use what I used when I was a child. I played classical piano for years. And I used to say to myself as a child, if I can hear it, I can play it. And I played awesomely because I could hear. My ear was trained. My father was a violinist, not by his career. And now we have this vocabulary today about universe. I didn't have that back then. Mm-hmm. So the dreaming part is what you did. You dreamed and you dreamed it into fruition. So tell us about the business that you've built.
Yeah, so now I lead a team. So with Doterra, I have this beautiful dream life, really, where I get to educate and empower women and families to find natural health alternatives. So, using essential oils that can be a great alternative to many harmful things in our home and our medicine cabinet. I mean, you can see the banner says we have an oil for that. So pretty much you name it, from day-to-day nuisances like head tension and stress or lack of sleep, tummy upsets, oils can support you. And so while education is a huge barrier, but also a huge opportunity, my team and I love to empower people through education. So every Monday night, I have Monday evenings with oils where I'm partnering with lots of different wellness practitioners. I've got a doctor on my team, an MD, who loves to dive into the science behind the oils and the healing properties within them. I partner with holistic nutritionists and health coaches just to show people on a day-to-day basis how these oils can be incorporated into their life and their health. And then I raise a team. So I've got a team of wellness advocates who are dreaming, like you say, they're dreaming about their own success and not only dreaming, but bringing that into reality. And I'm watching them, reach their goals and increase their businesses. Last year, we hit over $500,000 in sales as a team. And, this year we're on growth, or like on target to just continue to grow. I mean, thankfully, we work with this beautiful company that always is innovating and providing really meaningful solutions for the needs that people have in today's society. So it's very exciting.
I love it that you have this event every Monday night so people can tune in and really learn. And mm-hmm. So the doTERRA oils are becoming more and more popular and more well-known. So by you providing this information, that really, really helps. I'm fairly new to the oils myself, but I just wanted to share the one experience that I had. is that this year at my cottage, apparently there's a lot, and I've heard in Toronto too, there's a lot of rats and mice because they're looking for food. Everything's all different. And because the garbage isn't out there for them to get. So there's been a big mice thing going on at where I am at Georgian Bay, and you can't buy any traps or anything to get rid of them because it's all sold out. And so I don't like killing. I think it's horrible to bait them into your house and kill them. And anyhow, so I went through Google and looked at all the different ways of getting rid of mice. And wouldn't you believe it, in there, down near the bottom of like probably 75 things, it said to use peppermint. Peppermint essential oil. And so they don't like tinfoil. So what I did was I got a bit of tinfoil and I put the peppermint oil around the house. And you know what? They were gone. They didn't come back in that night. And I haven't, and that was like, that's been a long time. So they didn't re-nest in for the winter. And thank God I didn't have to kill any. So, and I know that you've got thousands of other remedies. So, so what next for you? What do you see in the horizon?
Well, I think, 2021 is just about growth and freedom, right? So I like to pick a word for the new year. And I actually had this word a couple years ago, and it was the word that I was released from the same year that I was released from prison, so to speak, from my corporate role, was freedom. And I think freedom means to me lots of things. It's freedom from, health struggles, and freedom financially, freedom in your time, freedom with your family. Obviously 2020 has been an opportunity to go inward. Like for those of us who are kind of stuck at home with family, it has meant, deeper relationships there, and really being more intentional with our time. And so for 2021, really just continued partnerships. So I love to collaborate, like I mentioned, with health practitioners on my Monday nights, always looking for new customers, new business partners, people who are open to exploring multiple streams of income. I used to meet people because I did a lot of networking, especially early days, because people at my workplace thought I was a bit cuckoo when I started using peppermint for a headache instead of Tylenol, right? I needed to find a tribe of women to who could relate to me. And I would meet these people who would say, they're entrepreneurs and they did this and they did that. And they also did this and they did that. And I used to judge that and think, well, so nothing's really working for you if you're doing like 4 or 5 different things. But what I came to realize over the years is, well, creating multiple streams of income is not a bad thing, right? I look at many of the leaders within Doterra who are very successful. Well, now they also, have a retail establishment to provide, the accessories that our oily people need, or they're health coaches, or they're teaching people how to create courses online. And so they're creating multiple streams of income. And I think that is a beautiful thing to be able to do that. And so my husband recently got into a little side business, creating another stream of income through, a foreign exchange program. And so that's sort of a little bit of a side gig that he can go off and start to fly, and I can continue to just grow and sow into my team, look to attract new partners, new customers, and looking for new systems, because as I grow, I'm realizing I need to be a lot more efficient. So I did find a new program just recently that's really exciting, giving me a really great way to connect with customers, new and old, and keep them up to date on education, because I still think education is so key in whether you're brand new to the oils or you've been using them for, a couple years. There's always something to learn. And so that's really the continued area of growth, is to educate, inspire. My team has run studies in the past, so we're going to kick those off again in February, where people who are completely unknown to oils and not really sure how they could support them if they have sleep issues, stress, digestive issues, or pain, we invite them to come and try out our products for a week and participate in a study and get to see with their own eyes and their own body how the oils can support them. So it's really just more of the same, because if it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but just amplify it and make it more efficient.
Those are great. Those are really great offerings. It's creative. I do have people writing me saying that they want more, and meaning they want, they want more in their lives. They want to do more. They want to make more. They want to give more. And this sounds to me like a great business to get into, because it's all people oriented, and you're really, close into intimacy with discussions about what's going on with another person and how you can really help them to build their life. And it is true. I mean, in this, we do live in a very stressful environment. I know that our pace has slowed down a bit, and of course that's going to ramp back up again in another year, but we have a different type of stress right now. And a lot of us really are living in fear and confinement because of the walls right now of COVID. So more than ever, this is the time where we really need to look for healthy alternatives. So so I encourage anybody watching to reach out to Jodie. It's great to have a side hustle, or it's great to start a new business. I've been an entrepreneur for 35 years, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I know what it's like to work and reap the rewards of my work, just like you're doing when you are in the corporate world. If the numbers aren't doing well in the company, no matter how hard you work, you're not really reaping any good feedback. And here you've got some great feedback, because you can see your two things. You can see your clients who are using becoming more healthier, and then also your partners, as you call them, you can watch them and help them, mentor them in building their own business. So and I know that you and I talked earlier about how you have those building blocks and how you're able to help people. So so Jodie is a great person if you're looking to get into a business or add some more products to an existing. And I do know exactly what you're talking about, because Dr. Prowse is my doctor in Oakville, and she also uses and sells the Doterra line. So it is a very, very, very popular line and popular business. So anybody can add this business into their...
Absolutely. Yeah. If you're a massage therapist or own a spa, I mean, if you're even a life coach, right? People come to you, they're, like you said, they're feeling stressed, they're feeling nervous. It's something that you can complement many different businesses. And I'm always open for discussion. So if people are just curious, you want to chat, I know Whitney said she's only done a couple coffee dates because she's a super busy lady, but I love the coffee dates. I think, especially in this era of COVID, when we're feeling more confined and restricted, I find them really meaningful, because people really get to deep connection really, really quickly. And, we're less able to just be out there and meet people at the grocery store and bump into someone, at the school. And so virtual coffee dates have become my norm. So definitely always open to that. If someone wants to just chat for 20 minutes, half an hour, and see if there's any alignment with your business, see if, or if you've got a health concern, I'm not only looking for business partners, but also customers, and the products really can bring meaningful changes to your health as well. So yeah, so I'm open to meeting people for coffee.
That's perfect. And and just to close off there, the one reason why I wasn't doing the coffee dates is because I'm afraid of people, trying to draw me in and get me involved in business when I already have a company. And what I liked about you, Jodie, was that we were able to have a great conversation and get to know each other without, hitting on each other with, product. And I think that's what's really important, is really getting to know another person versus, just trying to see what you can get from them. And so you are all about the opposite of that. You are all about really loving and caring for other people, and you're a smart lady. And I'm just very thrilled that you could take the time today and let me showcase you. And so just to close off, is there anything you'd like to, I'll give you the last say.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Whitney, for having me. And yeah, for anyone looking who's curious, just join me. You can check out my Instagram. I'm jodie.g.rogers. And in my link tree, I've got all my upcoming events. They're open, they're free. Monday nights, Thursday nights, I teach Essential Oil 101. So again, like Whitney said, never any pressure. I love to educate. I love to expose people to new and wonderful things, because before I knew that oils could do so much, I didn't know that. And once I knew, my world was, open to a whole new realm of possibility. And I love it when I can do that for someone else. So my education is free. My support is free. But yeah, come and check us out.
That's awesome, Jodie. All right. So, and I'm going to have to check out one of your Monday nights too, when I have a free evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much. And we'll see everybody next Monday at 10 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, Jodie.
Bye.